I just want to make a quick recording about why it's been difficult for me to find like a life partner. And I've always wanted to like open this discussion, and I just don't find the time because there's a lot to say, ironically. So I'll start somewhere, I guess. And I'm hoping not to go longer than 20 minutes for this talk. And then I'll figure out a title by the end of what I'm saying. Um, so I think one of the main issues I've had is that, and I'm sure the reason I'm sharing this is I'm sure other people are going through this as well. um, my parents' expectations. I think over the years, I learned kind of the subtle differences between what they expect. And then recently, I finally felt like I can vouch for someone who's good for me, even if they don't fit my parents' expectations. So that was a definitely like long process to go through for me, like very, very long. The other thing is probably like how I learned about Islam. I was born into a Muslim family, but I started learning um, about the religion after like migrating to a, you know, Western country, quote unquote. So I think people might find it difficult to understand where I fall in terms of like faith and things like that. It's you know, it's just the process of how I learned about it. I don't have any problems with the religion, of course. It's fine. you know, it's the basics are the basics. You know, the values are human values. You know, it's the, I guess a great religion and stuff. So, but when it comes to like having a life partner, someone who you'll see on a regular basis, it's difficult because everybody has learned about this in a different way, but there's also like the standard way of learning about it through like formal learning or, you know, from your parents and stuff. But for me, it was like a combo of different things and different people that shaped who I am today. So yeah, I think the other thing about me is probably this confidence. I think that I'm confident in certain, like, I'm confident about certain things in my life, but I think like um, the kind of general standard, I guess, of beauty and femininity and things like that. I think I don't really fall into like, you know, a certain I don't know how to call it, but it's like I when I was young, like I compared myself a lot to quote unquote like prettier girls in school and things like that. So I just never really, you know, felt confident about that. It's hard to talk about this. I think this is a longer video if I end up making more videos, you know? So I think this is a tough one for me because people who did end up, like we did end up, you know, liking each other or whatever, they could like me for my experience, for example, my life experience. And I'll be like, hey, how come they don't like me for my beauty or something. But then when they're like, oh, you know, you look nice or something, I'll be like, hey, no, what about my experience? So I think I'm still kind of learning what liking is and what love is and what's something I could live with, even though we'd have differences when it comes to this topic or even other things. Um, I guess this sounds like very formal, but I think it's important, like, for me to be with someone who not has a similar experience, but maybe like their mental age, I guess. I would want it to be similar to mine or a bit older, um, because I don't want to be a similar age because I don't want either to be raising the other one from scratch. Um, I want us to like support each other, and then a bit older in mental age is good for me because I like learning. Like I like learning as opposed to teaching. I like teaching, but I like learning, and I feel like as I grow, I see a lot of like the gaps in my learning experience. So it would be nice to like have a partner who would be like a good teacher, like a general teacher. I don't mean like someone who is gonna, you know, say, hey, let's sit down and learn this, you know, but they would have the patience to deal with things that might be missing, like in my learning experience, like essential things. And then I think I'm gonna talk about this as well. How ready they are for parenting. And now that's where this, like, here, this is going to be intertwined, right? Because Islam still does have the role, um, kind of, I wouldn't say defined, but there are certain things that a man is expected to do, like in Islam. And then there's like a range of, you know, how good they can be at that. But I think, yeah, I think that's definitely a big one because I could meet someone that's nice and we get along and stuff, but I don't think we would be good at co-parenting, you know? So I feel like it wouldn't be fair for like a child to go through that. I think my selfish bells start ringing when I feel like, okay, yeah, I can adapt to this, but can someone, you know, someone else adapt to this, you know? So yeah. And then I guess I'm just gonna share one experience that I had um, getting to know someone who just, I learned a lot from that experience. Unfortunately, a lot of things that I don't want in a relationship. I think open-mindedness is important, um, even if we have like the same basic values and the religion. But I think open-mindedness is not something someone can say, oh yeah, I'm open-minded, and that's it. You know, you kind of go through a lot of experiences with the person and realize that they're not open-minded. So that could be another discussion as well. I think I'm going to end this video here because this stuff I've been wanting to like get out of my system for a while. So at least this is out now, and maybe next time I'll talk about like the other stuff regarding this topic. Okay, bye.